Oh, okay. Yes, I was about to pick that call from last monitor Aladishe, but I lost the call. Okay, yes. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Hello,
Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. You're live
Yeah,
now.
this is Awotola from Ojojoga.
Okay, Awotola. Okay. Go ahead.
Now, just to inform the public that the public works are working at Moscow inward Omole. We have a little backlog from VIS to connect grammar school. So now again, we are also working at Omole Junction, opposite Cloud Church, inward grammar school. So we have a little backlog there around that Omole has is here. So that's what I have for you.
Is it a construction work going on there?
Hello?
Is it a construction work going on there?
Aesthetic works, working on the road. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that report. Yes, because the line was actually breaking. So.
Yeah, I said public works are working on the road.
All right. No
road rehabilitation at grammar school in what Omole, and another one. We still have another one. At Omole Junction, opposite
Crown Church. Yes,
grammar school.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I have for you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Lasma Monitor Awotola. Okay, yes, that's the report that I'm just getting now. That we have some construction work ongoing. We have public works working there at grammar school, so inwards Omole. So it's causing a bit of traffic on that particular stretch. So VIS connecting grammar school is busy. So you need to put it at the back of your mind. And there is also another one at Omole Junction, opposite Crown Church, inwards grammar school. So you need to put it at the back of your mind if you're moving on that particular corridor. Okay, we'll get more reports in the course of the show. And you're welcome to Automedics. Yeah, you know what we do on the show, we take your car questions. So if you have any challenge with your vehicle, if you have any problems, if you have any questions, because we have to just take the calls and take the questions. We had a whole lot of them yesterday that we couldn't actually deal with, because we had the LAGVIS team, and we also had our 10 minutes lead segment. And tomorrow again, we'll be having BlackVis, and on Thursday, we're going to be having Pojo officials here.
Yeah,
so
I think I got a call from him. I got a message from him that says he's on leave.
Okay.
So he might not be available on Thursday.
On Thursday, yeah. Okay. So that means we'll have more time. Yes, for our listener to take their questions. All right, no problem. So you can start sending in your questions, and please ensure you keep your questions short and simple. Keep it straight to the point, and also be considerate of others. And don't spend too much time. Yes, just get your questions directly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I drive a Toyota Corolla 2014.
So please, you have to just speak up a little bit.
I said I drive a Toyota Corolla 2015.
Okay. Can you increase this volume?
I noticed something yesterday. I don't know if it's an issue. I checked the reserve part of the radiator, the coolant level.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, the car is still new, so I drained out the water that was there, and I put this Toyota anti-freeze coolant, the pink one. So
which one did you have in it before?
There was water in it before. I think when the car came in, there was water in it. You know, when they topped up when the car was in the car lot, I think they usually put water inside the radiator cap. But there was
it shouldn't be ordinary water. It should be antifreeze. So why is it only water in it?
Well, I think there was antifreeze in it, but in the car lot, before I picked up the car, I saw them putting water in it.
Okay.
So what I did was, when I serviced the car about some days after, I drained out all the water and I put the Preventive antifreeze.
Okay.
But when I put the antifreeze, it's been about 2 months now.
Yeah.
I noticed that the reserve part has gone beyond the full level, like it's low. It has reduced, and it's kind of weird because it was full as at the time I put it in, and I made sure that everything was good. So, but when I checked yesterday, I noticed that the coolant level has gone very low, lower than the full option.
Okay, well, when did you check it? Did you check it in the morning or in the afternoon?
In the morning.
That is before you start the engine, right?
Yes, before I started the engine.
Okay, that means it's really low. Because
Yeah.
in the morning, it should be at the right level, which is somewhere midway of that reservoir container. There's a mark on it. You see the low level and then the normal level. So if it's gone very low, you can top it up again. But what you need to do is to observe if there's any leak anywhere around the hoses or the radiator. Well, since you've used the antifreeze now, you should be able to distinguish that from the color of the antifreeze.
Because I looked in, I checked everywhere. I didn't see any leak, so I don't know.
Well, sometimes you have a very slow leak that you might not be able to see, and that is why sometimes when a situation like this persists, I like recommending doing a coolant pressure test because if you have a slow leak, what will happen is it only happens when you're driving the vehicle when the engine is hot, and then it leaks out very slowly. And since the engine and all the components are hot, it will dry out every trace of the leaking coolant, so you probably won't see it clearly. Now with the pressure tester, when we do a pressure test, it's like simulating the pressure while the engine is working, but this time the engine is cold. You'll be able to see where it's leaking out from.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it persists, you might need to go for a coolant pressure test.
Okay, can I do that in your office after I go?
Yeah, sure. You can.
Okay. Anyway, I'll try to come around.
Okay.
You said coolant pressure test, or what?
Yeah, coolant pressure test.
Okay, I'll be sure to do that. Thank you.
All right.
All right, you're still taking your questions. Let's move on to WhatsApp. This one says, I drive a Toyota Corolla 2006. A maintenance required light is on. When I scanned, the technician said the problem is the auto sensor bank 1. The car is experiencing hard starts. Had to crank twice.
No, it is not maintenance required. If the maintenance required light is on, it's not a fault. It's actually telling you that the maintenance is due.
Yeah.
But if it's saying the check engine light is
on.
Now I understand.
Maybe it doesn't know the difference between the two.
If maintenance light comes on, it's not a fault at all. And if you scan, you won't see any fault.
Okay.
Except if the vehicle, for instance, it's got a problem, but then just like the technicians will do to blind the check engine light and it doesn't show.
Okay.
So you don't see the check engine light, but you went to run a scan and then you get this fault. Yes, I can understand, but it's not because the maintenance required light is on.
That means maybe the maintenance required light is on and also the check engine
light is on. But they have blinded it, is not seeing it.
Okay.
So it's very possible the only light is
So how did the technician know that it's actually the auto sensor?
By running a scan on it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not because the maintenance light is on. Yeah.
Okay, so the car is experiencing hard start. I had to crank twice or thrice before the engine starts. I changed the fuel pump in December. The auto sensor was changed yesterday and the nozzle serviced, but the problem persists.
Well, I think they still haven't attacked the problem
Major
frontally,
issue.
because if it's a hard start problem, even though, sometimes I keep saying it here all the time that before you assume that the fuel pump is bad, you must carry out some tests on it. The first is to test the fuel pump for its pressure output and also for holding pressure.
Yeah.
Now, if it is giving the desired output, but then it's not holding pressure, you're going to experience hard start, even though the fuel pump is okay, it's giving out the right pressure. Now, what is the holding pressure? The holding pressure, there is a check valve on the fuel pump And what it does is that it only allows fuel to be dispensed from the tank towards the injectors. It doesn't allow the fuel to return back to the tank. Now, when that valve gets bad, while you when you switch off the engine, the fuel drains from the fuel rail because it's on the upper part of the engine, and then back to the tank because the tank is at the lower side due to gravity.
Okay.
Now, when you want to restart the engine, the moment you engage the gear, you start cranking, that is when fuel is being supplied. Now, picture the distance from the tank to the fuel rail and the injectors. So all that delay is the hard start you get.
Okay.
That is number one. So if there are other issues and the scanner will not pick that up.
Yeah.
The scanner will not pick up such problem with the fuel pump. So you need to carry out some tests using the fuel pressure tester and the like to find out exactly what is going on.
Okay.
Now, if you have any problem related with sensor, either the crank sensor or the cam sensor, the computer is going to pick it up.
Sure.
Yeah, so those are the things you need to do and find out exactly what is going on, what is causing the hard start.
Okay. You need to find that out and get back to Dr. Ben. Okay, this one from our Facebook. It says, using a Toyota Matrix 2003, since I changed my gear oil, I've started experiencing that my car is not moving well on the hill. I think we took this question yesterday. Or was it
No,
related?
I saw the question, but we didn't take it.
We didn't take it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to move in the morning. It's usually delays.
Well, the first question is, why did they have to service the transmission? What was the problem before they serviced the transmission? If this problem was there, the service won't cure it. It means there is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a situation like this, I will expect the check light to be on.
Yeah.
And run a scan on it. You get a couple of code that has to do with transmission.
Okay.
And then from there, we'll be able to tell exactly what is going wrong with the transmission.
Okay. I think we are dealing with transmissions this morning. This one too is transmission. It says Honda Accord 2003 just changed my transmission, and the technician used Dextron 2 transmission fluid, Wando. It said that is the best fluid for the vehicle. Please, what is the best fluid for the car? I don't want to have another issue with the new transmission. If you have used it already, I don't think...
That's what they call medicine after death.
Well, if you have used it already, I don't see what Dr. Ben's judgment is going to,
the Honda has its own specification for transmission fluid. And if you use anything other than that, they will tell you the warranty for the transmission is void. But this, you buy in a used transmission. So whatever warranty is there is between you and the seller of the transmission. And sometimes I've actually had contact with sellers of transmission that will insist that a certain type of transmission fluid is used on the vehicle. Sometimes this transmission fluid do not conform with what the manufacturer recommend. So sometimes I wonder, why are they so bent on using such fluids on them? But if you've used it already, well, good luck to you.
He's used it, said, and the technician used Dextron 2. So medicine after death.
Well, for me, I think Dextron 2 is too low for it.
Wow.
Yeah, even if you are going to use anything alternative, it should be Dextron 3. But
so what's the solution, Dr. Ben?
I don't know. He's used it already. So whatever he's experiencing now, I cannot tell. You need to, these are the information you need to find out.
Yes, find out before even going for the service.
Yeah. So the moment you know that, okay, I will need to change the transmission. Okay, if I'm changing the transmission, what are the things that I need to do?
And
what are the fluids? If I need to change filter or fluid, which ones do I really need to get?
Yeah, so this is, well, okay. Let's take the next question. Say, please, my Toyota Corolla 2006 steering lock and the key. Steering, is it locks? Or locked?
Corolla
2006.
Okay.
The steering locked and the key cannot turn to start the car. A Toyota Corolla, please, what can cause this and what is the solution? I think I do experience that too. But yeah, but I have the solution. I know how I do my thing. I just start. I just turn on the ignition and I turn the steering a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, and it releases. So it's
the moment your steering lock.
The steering.
No, you see the thing is,
don't worry.
if you lock there's tendency for it to
lock.
Yeah, so that is when you need to insert the key, juggle the steering while you try to unlock.
Okay.
But if the steering is straight without tension...
Okay, then that means it's not a problem for me, because that is sometimes when you just... when the steering is off the right angle, so that is when it locks. Yeah.
Then you don't have a problem. You see, people have a way of parking their vehicle, and sometimes when people park, I look at it like, why is this person parking like this? If you park your vehicle and your steering is not, the front wheels are not on a straight line, for me, you don't know how to park.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, so when you park, make sure you straighten your steering.
Okay.
And there are vehicles that are very finicky. Let's take, for instance, you turn your steering in, right or to the left or to the right, your steering is not straight.
Yeah.
And then your neighbor has a problem with battery. And okay, be the good neighbor. I want to help my neighbor. Take off your battery and put it back on.
Yeah.
And then start the car. Okay, then come back to your vehicle, put the vehicle, the steering, the battery back on your vehicle.
Okay.
When you start it, you're going to have some issues.
Oh, really?
First of all, you'll see if the vehicle is equipped with the VSC, the VSC light will come on, and you begin to wonder, this light wasn't there before.
Sure.
If I took the battery off.
Okay.
Why is it off? Because the steering angle completely lost.
Okay.
Because the computer does not know the angle of the steering anymore. You have to recalibrate or synchronize the steering angle sensor.
Why? Because it took off the battery.
Exactly.
Wow. Interesting. So that can even cause one to start panicking, because what you just explained now, I think it's good for us as an information, because sometimes it can happen and you just, get yourself off track and be wondering what has happened and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's not really a problem. It's because of the package. Because
you took out the battery. But then you will need a scanner to get it resolved.
Again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, let's take more questions. Okay, let's pick a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ajibola Akin.
Okay.
Calling from Ikeja.
All right, go ahead with your question.
Thank you. I'm having issues with my car. Like 2 weeks back, started charging forward. Like I'm driving, it will just speed forward on its own. At times when I want to accelerate, I'm managing to accelerate a little. To just jump forward a little. When I took it, to jump forward more than I accelerate. That's what I mean. Then when I took it to mechanic, he checked on the fuel pump. He tried to clean the fuel pump. He continued with the same thing. Then we had to change the fuel pump. After changing the fuel pump, it kept better a little. After like 2-3 days, it was doing the same thing. And of course, it even got worse. So I took it back to the mechanic. Near the injector, there is this kind of petrol channel stuff that he removed. I tried to clean everything perfectly. Then the car began to work very well. But after about 72 hours driving, I'm experiencing the same thing. Now the mechanic is telling me that it has to be a rewire work now, not a mechanical work now. The car is a Camry 205, sir.
Well, now with this problem, do you have the check engine light on?
No, sir, it's not on.
Well, if it's a problem of that magnitude, I will expect the check light to be on.
Yeah, but it's not on.
I will expect the check light to be on. But have you tried running a scan on it?
No. The mechanic just said that it's fuel pump. Then he changed the fuel pump.
How did he do it?
Exactly.
So is it telling you that the fuel pump is getting stronger, is gaining more power, or what? Because fuel pump will decline in pressure, not increase in pressure. Yeah?
When it first started, sir, before we changed the fuel pump,
yeah,
the more I accelerate, the lower it speeds.
That fuel pump are calculated for the inside.
During salad time, sir.
I don't have brought
place so
created and for those on this as they drive, so you have to just take it slow if you're driving along that corridor. So we get you more feeds as this program continues. Automedics and
yes, I drive Camry 2007.
Okay.
So what I noticed is that I had problem with the AC.
Okay.
That is the compressor. So they had to change it. When I took it to where they would put it, my AC technician told me that
they could not get the manual, the automatic compressor. So I had to go with the with the manual.
So very sure that you're laughing.
I know the story even before it started.
Oh, really? No wonder.
All right, go ahead.
So they fixed the manual.
Okay.
So ever since they fixed the manual, the problem I usually get now is that there is this noise, consistent noise. Each time I turn on the AC, I load the gear. It sounds as if there is a frog or something underneath my engine. Going like that. Until I switch off the engine, until I switch off the AC, it works normally. I load my gear, it moves. But immediately I turn on the AC, if I'm accelerating right now, it goes smoothly. I won't hear the noise. But when I'm on the traffic on the road or on the neutral, if I push the gear on the neutral, the noise drops.
The frog comes back.
There's a frog there actually. Yeah, we have to get out the frog, Dr. Ben.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just come into my street or at home, I just think that I'm around. Because this consistent noise, I don't know what to do about it. They are saying the adjuster, that I have to change the bed, because I had to change the bed. It's the same problem procedure, so that you change the adjuster, something adjuster. So I don't know. Because I don't know about maybe how can somebody not get a...
How would you be able to use your AC?
Automatic?
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, it's not like they didn't find the automatic. That is the correct one that is supposed to be there. It's not like they didn't find it, but they are afraid to use it. That is also the right word for it. Now, they are more, comfortable with what they know, which is the manual, and that is what they fixed for you. But unfortunately, I think that one has a problem. Maybe it has a mechanical problem. Each time you engage it, there's this noise that comes from the compressor. So the compressor might have a problem, and then they are trying to swing it everywhere. If the adjuster has a problem, the adjuster is constantly in rotation as long as the engine runs. So if the adjuster is the one responsible for it, you still hear some noise even if the AC compressor is not engaged. Now, when you engage the AC compressor, that is when the AC begins to pump. So it's that pumping effect that is causing it to make that noise. So if you want to get that frog out of your AC, well, you know where to go look for it now.
Automedics.
I know. He has to go look for it right inside the compressor.
And you need to come to Automedics.
All right.
All right, you still there?
I think he's there.
Yeah, it's gone. Okay, yeah, we still take your questions. All right, I'm guessing this from control room now that outward or dead job to connect Iju and inward Penn Cinema from Oyemekun U-turn. It's having a slow vehicular movement and the diversion of traffic through Ijayi housing estate by the road construction. Okay, that's by high tech at Penn Cinema. So that place is really very high now due to the construction work on that particular corridor. Okay, also for Ikorodu, let me give you the report I have here that from the roundabout to all the way to Majiduajegunle Odogun is good, but it's a bit slow. Yes, at mile 12 inwards Owodelede. Yes, the backlog is at mile 12. Then inwards Ojota to Maryland to Anthony, it's a good moving traffic. Obanikoro to Onipano is good. Fadeyi all the way to Domanon Bridge to Alaka is good. Alaka to Iponre to connect. Eko Bridge is slow. The return journey, Eko Bridge to Alaka to Stadium is good. Then from Ojoelegba all the way to Stadium to Fadeyi to Anthony is equally okay. But we have an impediment, yes, at Anthony. That's at Batola Company. It's a broken down vehicle there. It's having a rear tire problem and it's causing a bit of traffic, yes, on both the main carriageway and on the service lane. That's for those going towards at Anthony. At Batola Company, full of Batola Company. So that is where the impediment is. Though we have officials on ground and we have the mechanic trying to get it fixed and eventually get it off the road. But as you moving now, if you get to that point, you need to just take it slow, and you have to cooperate with them as they get things back to normalcy. So we'll fetch you more reports as the program continues. Okay, let's take more questions from our WhatsApp. Let's take the one that has the codes now. This one says, I come in 2005, I scanned my car, and from there I got this code P0031 and P0793.
P0793. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You can take another question while we look for that.
All right. This one is a Corolla 26. I've been using the car for 7 years now and haven't changed the radiator coolant. I've no overheating. I want to know if I'm in order.
Well, if you don't have any leak,
yeah,
and you don't have any overheating problem, well, chances are that it's still okay. It's okay. You don't have a problem with it. It's not leaking.
Okay.
So if it's not leaking, means that you're not adding coolant to it,
okay,
or adding water to it. So there's no problem. But there's also an interval when you are supposed to replace the antifreeze in the radiator. You say you spent 6 years.
7 years.
7 years, you haven't done it. That tells me that the vehicle is running perfectly okay. The cooling system doesn't have any problem. But if you can, get the specified antifreeze for that vehicle, the same color, and replace it just to fulfill all righteousness. Yeah.
Okay. So are you saying now that if a vehicle is not giving you any issues, it's just that it shows that the vehicle is fine? Anybody is against a normal health check that we do, even if you are okay, even if you're fine, still go to the hospital to, get a comprehensive test. So does it not apply to vehicles too? Even if the vehicle is not giving you any issues? Don't you think,
that is what is referred to as preventive maintenance. There's nothing wrong with the vehicle, but you want to prevent something from happening.
Okay.
Why do you service the engine? Is it because the engine has a problem? Or because it's due for service? You change the oil filter, and when the spark plugs are due for replacement, you replace them, not because the engine is misfiring. Okay. But the major problem we have is we don't do any of those things until something happens.
Okay.
And then we assume that when we do that thing, the preventive, what you're supposed to do to prevent the problem from happening, you do it when the problem has occurred.
Yeah, because you're trying to save money.
It doesn't work that way. Now you are doing repairs. You are not doing preventive maintenance. You are doing repairs.
I think we are not very good at maintenance in this part of the world. Okay, let's take another one. This one says, I drive a Toyota Sequoia. There is this VSC track light that is on. What could be the meaning and the possible solution?
Well, you need to run a scan on the VSC system and the ABS system. The VSC, that is a vehicle stability control, it could have a problem. Now, this is the point here. If you have any problem with the powertrain system, if the check light is lighted up, the VSC light will come up.
All right.
Even though the VSC system doesn't have any problem. So you need to find out exactly what is wrong with the check. If that is fixed, the VSC will go. But if you have a problem with the VSC system itself, then you need to scan the VSC system. And if the ABS has a problem, the VSC is not going to work. So if ABS light is on, the VSC light will come on. So you need to run a scan to find out exactly what is wrong with the system completely.
All right.
Now let's look at the
the codes.
The Camry 2005 P0031 is talking about the heated oxygen sensor control. Circuit is low, bank 1, sensor 1, which means the upstream oxygen sensor, and the possible cause is faulty heated oxygen sensor bank 1, that is the sensor itself, and then oxygen sensor harness, that is talking about the wiring, and then the connector either is open circuit or short circuit. So those are the things you'll be looking at on that. Then P0791, right? 93. That is the one that scares me a little bit. It's talking about the intermediate shaft speed sensor A. Now, on the transmission, you have intermediate speed sensor. Intermediate shaft, and then you also have a sensor that monitors the speed of the shaft. So what he's actually talking about here is that the sensor has a problem, or the connector, just like you have on the O2 sensor. The sensor might be faulty, the connector might be the problem, or the wiring could be the problem. Yeah, but it's the speed sensor that has an issue. Yeah. And I'm sure he's also having maybe shift malfunction with the vehicle. Yeah.
So we have to check all of this and get back to Automedics. Okay, this one, says, still on the Honda 2003, yes, the caller, or this person that said he actually used Dextron 2, yes, for his vehicle. He says, but that means he wasn't listening. Dr. Bernard said you're supposed to use Dextron 3, right?
Yeah,
he said he wants to drain it out.
Alternative is Dextron 3, not 2.
Dextron 2.
Now, the right fluid for it is DW1, Z1, or DW1. That is what you're supposed to do. That is what Honda recommends for it. But in the absence of all this, you can use Dextron 3 as an alternative. I don't see where they mention Dextron 2.
He said he has used Dextron 2. So now, he said, so is it idea for him to drain out the oil, to drain it and, put in the right spec?
Well, you can do that, but I am not going to guarantee that that is going to stop any problem, because it's just a 50-50 chance now. You've used the wrong fluid. Yes, let's assume and hope that nothing has happened. Then you can use the right fluid for it.
Let's hope. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Ben.
Good morning. Can you please turn down the volume on your radio?
Okay, I'll turn it down.
All right.
My name is Freddie. I'm calling from the city.
Okay.
The problem I'm having on my car, Toyota Camry 2003.
Camry 2000 and what?
03.
Okay.
First of all, number one is that I don't understand the way it short oil, because I even check Honda everywhere. I can't just drop of oil. But every month I'll be stopping to this. Every month. And once I top it, I will be to gauge and I will leave it. By the end of the month, when I check it now drop down almost to the last list. So when I top it again, it will take me another last ending of the month again.
Okay.
And I check everywhere, no dropping of, no leakage, nothing.
Have you heard about smoke test 101 before?
No, I've not even done any. No check light. I've not done any test.
I'm not talking about check light or whatever, because what you have in here is that the oil seems to be disappearing, and you don't have a trace of where it's going to. By the way, what grade of oil are you using?
Because I bought the car from somebody. He was like using a Wando. So when I make an inquiry, it's thicker than. Why is he something? I don't know.
Well, the truth about it is that the engine might be consuming the oil by burning it through the exhaust. And that is what I mean by smoke test 101. Now, there's a sequence of operation that we do to find out if the oil is burning through the exhaust, and then you see a cloud of smoke coming from the tailpipe.
No, but the car is not smoking. Even I ask somebody when I'm driving, if you wash at my back, and when I move, it doesn't say this.
Well, it depends on how you do it, okay? There's a way we do the test to actually see if it smokes or not, and you'll be there, right there in your eyes. If it really smokes, you see it smoking out through the tailpipe.
Okay, right. I'll be hearing noise anytime I grab my brake. It will stand and say iron to iron and just change yourself. When I grab my brake, I will hear the noise. When I climb a little bump, I will hear the noise again. And I've done a lot of things on that particular leg. I've changed the shaft, complete shaft, leakage, bushing, lower arm, a lot of things. Even the last one they asked me to do now, they have to tell me that the noise is from the steering rack bushing. There's a where they put bushing on steering rack, where they tie it to the body. So they say it's that one now. Then after that, a lot of things, everything I change, I have to keep them. As I'm talking to you now, they are all in my house.
You'll soon become a spare part dealer.
So, and when they change it, I will sit and they will just be telling me I'm even fed up of tires. So I was like, let me just leave it. Let it just be there. Maybe any time it will just happen, then I will know that but I don't know the secret of the noise. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I'm sure they've been doing their suspension checks and probably overlooking one thing. Okay.
I've done with balance, I've done engine seat, I've done everything. But the noise is still there when I grab my brake and when I want to move.
I know how frustrating that could be. And, when you talk about noise, it's very, very irritating. Yeah, it is. And I will not blame the technicians because sometimes, too, when vehicles come to our shop, when it has to do with noise, sometimes you have a hard time trying to figure it out. I'll tell you, there are a couple of vehicles that we have actually dealt with that has to do with noise. Yes, you see the easy one, the suspension, the shock absorber. Seen it, the bushes, physically you can see, but sometimes something get loose somewhere very, very delicate within the body that it will take you a lot of time to figure out where this noise is coming out from. Do you know that sometimes we take we as technicians, myself, LJ, and a few other technicians will go on a road test because of a particular noise? Yeah, it is that difficult sometimes. You see, and then it's like, what is actually going? This noise, you guys can't figure it out. So it's sometimes it's really crazy. Yeah. Noise sometimes could be very, very difficult to. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
My opinion now is I've told them to just forget about the noise. I will bear it, but I'm not going to press anything anymore. I will drive it like that until maybe mechanic was like I should keep using it until when the thing now explodes itself. We now know the problem.
Well, supposing it's something.
I'm not going to do anything anymore.
Yeah, supposing it's something dangerous.
Exactly.
Because you have been making this noise anytime I grab my brake, anytime I want to slam a little bomb, I will just be, but everything on the car is moving, the leg is okay.
Okay, you know what? If you don't mind, can you come and get one card for LAGVIS, that is Lagos Computerized Vehicle Inspection Service? Okay? Go for the test. And I'm very, very sure they'll probably find out exactly what is making noise.
Sir, this noise is when you drive it. Though. If I drive it to your workshop, you will not hear this noise.
That is what I'm telling you.
Drive it out, you will hear the noise.
Hold on. Because the kind of test they do there, they have a dyno. The vehicle will go over a dyno, and they are going to simulate driving it. So they will find it out. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. So if you want a card is ready for you to pick up here.
Am I going to pick the card in your office or is traffic radio station?
Wherever you want to pick it up, just tell me where you would like to pick it up from.
I know your office in the local Jew. I know that very well.
All right, then. Come pick one.
The card, am I buying the card or?
It's free. It's free.
Okay, when I get the card, I will not take my card there.
Yeah.
Okay. But I hope no problem if I take my card there.
What problem? There's no problem. You've had them a couple of times come to the studio here, and if there's any problem, just call me.
Because I'm scared of those people.
Don't worry.
If you have any problem, just call me.
Yes, they won't even impound your vehicle. They'll just tell you what's wrong with the car. That's all.
I will do that.
That is voluntary inspection. If there's any problem, just call me.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
All right. Yes, I know that's always the issue, because everybody's scared that if you go there and your vehicle does not pass the test, they might probably impound your vehicle.
And they keep saying it. Yeah, I think
yes, Damilola has really been saying it.
BK need to, keep educating the public about this so that they know exactly what is going on.
Exactly.
This is the scare that a lot of people get.
I'm telling you, even myself. All right, this one says, I drive a Honda Accord 2005. Sometimes I want to start the engine. It will not start. I will hear a kick sound from the engine. And I will return the key and start again. It will then start. Please, what's the likely problem? I don't want disappointment. Several times, it takes several times before it starts, and the battery is well screwed and tightened.
That is not a battery problem. That is a starter motor problem. Most likely, it's the starter solenoid.
Okay.
That is actually causing that is a pinion gear. That is actually causing the problem. It's supposed to be a one-way gear. Now, the moment it begins to have problem, it free wheels at some point. So it will engage, and then you feel it cranking, wee, but it doesn't roll the engine.
Wow.
So severally until it picks, and then it starts the engine. So it's the starter pinion gear that is the problem.
Okay. Now, I'll take online questions. There are questions that I can see the senders online. Please, my engine is pinging only when accelerating. And when I want to climb a little hill, I've done everything necessary. The car is not doing any overheating. A Corolla 2007.
Corolla 2007.
Yeah.
Pinging, has a lot of things that are attached to it. But for a Corolla 2007, I'm wondering, it doesn't have an EGR valve that I'll start saying maybe the EGR valve is blocked.
Okay.
I think it still needs to be inspected to see what is going on. Sometimes you could have carbon buildup in the engine.
Okay.
That is on the combustion area. And then it increases combustion temperature. And that can cause pinging. Well, I cannot give you exactly what will be the problem here because sometimes it needs a careful investigation to find out exactly what is going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Gonna be our last caller today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Goke.
Okay.
Good morning, Dr. Ben.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, Dr. Ben, please, I drive a Toyota Matrix 2005.
Okay.
And the challenge I have with it is that it's actually about a noise. It's as if the silencer is hitting the body of my car. That's the way I can describe that noise. However, I took it to my technician, and then they looked at it. The guy looked at it, and he said the panel, the guy too went. He said the silencer is not hitting the body, and the technician looked. He said, "Is the plug?" He changed my plug. He said, "Is the injector mount?" He changed the injector mount, threw the injector mount, and then the noise still. And the funny thing is, the noise usually comes most times when I'm slowing down. Like if my speed is reduced, if I'm on speed, I won't hear it. But if I'm stationed or it's going slowly, I'll be hearing the and sometimes I was just wondering what exactly was it. I told the guys to actually still go on down and at least check. I don't know. I was just mentioning, is it the shaft? Is it this or is it that? Is there any way? The guy looked at it and said, no, that the next thing he said, I should be saying that is the fuel pump. That the last one that he changed like that, when they changed the fuel pump like this, it just went and I said, no, that this fuel pump is the new one that I just got, which is actually a Tokumbo. And I know it's not just the fuel pump. So, but I was wondering what exactly it could be that could be making me get that noise.
Yeah, but you said the noise sounds like something is hitting the body of the vehicle.
Yes, I see something is hitting the body of the vehicle. It keeps on, goes on like that continuously.
Yeah, because if it's something like hitting the vehicle, the body of the vehicle, that sounds more mechanical. So I'm wondering where the fuel pump and all the other diagnoses they are giving you comes from. Now, the question is, have they ever worked on the exhaust?
The exhaust? No.
Have
not worked. Have I worked on the exhaust? Yes, sir, I have. Okay. Long time ago.
Okay, you see, there is the exhaust carries a flex pipe from the manifold area to the muffler that is underneath the vehicle. Okay. It has a flexible neck. Now, if they ever worked on that neck and then they put a straight pipe there, there's tendency for that kind of vibration to occur. So you need to look at it. Did they use the flexible pipe or is it a straight pipe that they used? So if they didn't use a flex pipe, then that is where the problem is coming from.
Okay. So I need to confirm with the mechanic when he worked on it, because what he actually did on my vehicle that time was he removed the catalyst when he got
Now we are talking. That is where the issue is coming from.
Oh.
So I should confirm whether they use flex pipe or a straight pipe.
Exactly.
So, but my car should carry a flex pipe.
It should be a flex pipe because what happens is that when you're driving, the engine rocks forward and backward when the gear changes. All right. Sir. So when that is happening, it's supposed to be a flex pipe to be able to take all that, back and forth movement. Now, if it's a straight pipe, it will not be able to do that. And at some point, it's going to touch the body of the vehicle and then it's going to vibrate very close to the body of the vehicle. But when you're standing stationary and then they are looking at it, it will be far away from you because you're not driving. It only occurs when you are either slowing down.
Yes, sir.
So it has to do with
I
the
just have to be on the road.
Exactly.
Before I head it.
Since nobody is going to be underneath the vehicle, why that is happening? Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not see that.
Okay, so again, I will try and let them check whether it's that plug that is there or the straight pipe. I think. Thank you so much. God bless you. We appreciate what you are doing for us. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Okay, yes, still Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Just getting this report that there is a broken down high capacity bus. It's a primary blue bus at Iyano School in West K2. So it's causing a bit of traffic between Owodi Oniri and Mile 12. So you need to put this at the back of your mind. There is a bit of traffic on that particular stretch. And don't forget that we also have some construction works ongoing. We have one at Ojodu Baja. Yes, we have at it's actually going on at grammar school in was Omole. So VIS connecting grammar school is busy, and also have another one at Omole Junction opposite Crown Church in was grammar school. So that's where the construction work is ongoing, and we also have another one at Yaba, that's Yaba Phase 2. Yeah, so Jibo, though we have it at Jibo in what Yaba is still good at the moment, still moving. So Yaba Phase 2 to Adekunle is still calm. So, but the advice is for motorists to just take it slow if you're moving on that particular corridor, so you can get to your destination seamlessly. We also have an impediment at Anthony. Yes, Anthony, opposite Batola Company. There's a broken down vehicle there. It's having a rear tire problem, so you need to put it at the back of your mind. It's causing traffic both on the main carriageway and on the service lane as well. So please, you need to take it slow and keep it within the speed limit. Okay, this one says, okay, let's quickly take this. Dr. Ben says, my AC, if I'm on one spot, it will get cold. But if I move, it will not get cold. What's the problem?
Well, I think the most common problem is that when you are in one place, that is when you park, when you're stationary, it doesn't cool.
Yeah.
Now, in your own case, it cools when it's stationary, but when you move, it doesn't cool. So I think this one will need to be checked. I mean, diagnosis on the AC system will need to be carried out, checking the low pressure side and the high pressure side, and see the pressure differences if everything is okay. And he didn't mention the vehicle, what kind of vehicle it is, so we need to know what kind of system we use there. But most modern vehicles you use a HVAC, that is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, which means it has a computer.
Okay.
Now, if it does have a computer, it also makes it easy for diagnosis. You can diagnose the AC system using a computer to do that. Yeah.
All right, this is where we get to draw the curtain, taking your time.
People come to collect their cards.
I actually dropped the card with the receptionist yesterday, but I haven't gotten any report from him. But someone came yesterday. Okay. One of the winners came yesterday, and I was actually the one that gave him the card. So I just had to drop the remaining ones with him. So, but I'm sure they must have picked up their cards. And if they've not picked up their cards, I'm going to pick the cards for them and make use of it.
All right, and the person that I promised also should come to
yes, your office, right?
Yeah.
That's at Ilupeju. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ben. A big thumbs up to the social media guys, Sukai Demafolashe Philip and Mubo Sadakasali. Also want to appreciate Terry Victor and the executive producer Tayo Akonle. My name is Adirun Kerewole. We continue tomorrow with our car troubles on Automedics. Until then, please stay safe. Bye.
life, anything when I want. She not my no, she not Porsche, oh. Mommy get out. If you're the dirty, don't mind them. If I don't